All right, grab yourself your snack, your munchie, your beverage. This is going to be a long one. This is one of my more favorite ones. There's one coming down the line that'll probably be a 4-hour podcast. I can see it now. But we have an introduction of a new character. Well, no, we met this character a couple of books ago. It was a very minor interaction. Now we're getting a fuller interaction. We have several character progressions going on here. There's a lot in this book, and we're going to be enjoying the heck out of it. So this is going to be a little on the lengthier side. And hey, if you could hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Definitely the like button. And my question to you is, what does strangers on a train have to do with strangers and death? Strangers on a train. So, this really massively rich guy, this really massively rich guy has been murdered, and Eve is investigating. And here comes Peabody. She recognized the clump of boots as her partner's shit kickers. Whatever the calendar said about the approach of spring in New York, that was a big fat lie. As if to prove the point, Detective Delia Peabody stepped through the door in an enormous and puffy purple coat with a long striped scarf that appeared to be wrapped around her neck 3 times. Between that and the cap pulled over her ears, only her eyes and the bridge of her nose were visible. "It's freaking 5 degrees," somebody who might have been Peabody said against the muffle of scarf. "I know. With the wind chill, they said it's like freaking -10. I heard that too. It's freaking March. 3 days before spring. It's not right. Take it up with them." "Who?" "They who have to go mouthing off about it being freaking -10. You're colder and pissier because they have to blabber about it. Take some of that shit off. You look ridiculous." "My teeth are frozen." Peabody began to peel off the multiple layers covering her sturdy body. Scarf, coat, gloves, insulated zippy. Eve wondered how the hell she managed to walk with all of that weighing her down. With the hat discarded, Peabody's hair fell with sassy flip at the nape appeared to frame her square nose. There's Peabody. Then I've got a cat that's upset with me. So they've done the review of the murder scene, and now they're leaving the murder scene, and the discussion goes. Outside, Eve climbed behind the wheel while Peabody sat shotgun. "Rough," Peabody said. "You're soaking up tropical drinks and rays 1 minute, and your husband's dead. She knows he was screwing around. She knows something about it. I guess they probably always do, the spouse, I mean, of the screwing around her. And I think a lot of times they can just block it out, pretending it's not happening hard enough so that they don't believe it." "Yes, ma'am." Would you be shedding tears for McNabb's body if he'd been screwing around on you?" Peabody pursed her lips. "Well, since I've been the one who killed him, I'd probably be shedding tears for me because you'd be arresting me. And that would really make me sad. Enough to verify, XYZ, that's a part of the plot. So, wouldn't you like to do that? Have a girls' trip?" "No." "Oh, come on, Dallas." The very idea brightened Peabody's voice. "Go somewhere with girls, hang, drink lots of wine or fuzzy drinks, get facials and spa treatments, lie on the beach and talk about stuff half the night." They do that. Not in a foreign location, however. They do it in Eve's house. For the bridal shower that we will be talking about in a book or so. And promises in death. But that's going to take a while. The very idea brightened Peabody's voice. Go somewhere with girls, hang, drink lots of wine or fuzzy drinks, get facials and spa treatments, or lie on the beach and talk about stuff half the night? I'd rather be dragged naked over jagged glass. Well, I think we should do it sometime. You, me, Mavis, Nadine, and Louise, and Trina, if she could do our hair. If Trina comes out of this mythical nightmare, I get to drag her naked over jagged glass. That's my bottom line. You'd have fun. I would. I probably would. I'd feel bad about dragging her over jagged glass 10 or 20 years later, but at the time I'd have fun. Eve is petrified of Trina. And I forgot my spiel in the beginning of this. Eve is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. Rourke is her husband. Somerset is the major domo. Peabody is her partner. Peabody's life partner is McNabb, but he's also a detective in EDD. We will see Detective Baxter and Officer Trueheart in this book. We will also see Mavis Freestone. She's a rock star, but she's with child now, and her husband is a fashion designer. We will also pick up with Charles and Louise. Charles is a licensed companion. That's a licensed official, a high, very sophisticated escort service type situation. Louise is a doctor. Mira is the department shrink. Whitney is Eve's boss. Feeney is Eve's former partner, mentor, and now he's captain of EDD. He's also got a bad cold in this book. We've got Nadine. She's a reporter, and she has her own TV show. This is now, happening now, news now situation. And I think that's everybody. And Trina is our hairdresser. So where was we? So they're going to interview somebody, and the somebody is in Rourke's building. And Peabody goes, "Do you want to stop by and see?" "No." Peabody rolled her eyes at Eve's back as they stepped into the huge, classy lobby with its rivers of flowers, its moving maps, its busy shops. "I just figured since we are right here." "We are right here, Peabody, and if you roll your eyes behind me again, I'm going to poke them out with a stick." "You don't have a stick. There's a tree right over there. I'll get one." Peabody sighed. "You're right here because we're investigating a murder. And do we think Rourke's killed Anders? No." So we really don't have to see Rourke, right? Just wait. So, we do our interviewing, and she's leaving the premises. Yes, indeed, she thought a moment later when she saw Rourke leaning casually on her "We're on a budget police vehicle." And we will talk about the vehicle in Promises and Death. Tall, lean, with a mane of black hair framing a face blessed by gods. He shifted those killer blue eyes towards her. It was ridiculous, she thought, to feel that burn in the belly, the thump of the heart over a look, but no more ridiculous than a man who owned a fat chunk of the known universe, passing the time on his PPC while he loitered in a parking garage. He slipped the PPC into his pocket. "Lieutenant, hello, Peabody. Shouldn't you be upstairs buying Alaska?" "I did that last week. I got wind cops were in the house. What can I do for NYPSD that I haven't done already?" "Oh, yeah," she thought. The voice was another killer, hinting of Ireland's misty green hills, and she supposed she should have known he'd get wind. Nothing got by Rourke. "This isn't on you, since you're alibied for the time in question." "Pretty solid," Peabody put in, sleeping with the primary, at Eve's cold stare. "Just saying," Peabody said. And she tells him about the case. I'm gonna skip this one part because it's plot related, but Baxter comes and talks to her about his case. So we're gonna skip that. And let's see. She's got to be at the studio by 5 tomorrow. Nadine, in 5 words or less, sum up your take on the. That's plot related. We've got your pretend. Eve clicked off as Peabody clumped in with an armload of food. "We got your pretend I'm turkey wraps, soy chips, and cute little tubs of veggie hash. I got you a tube of Pepsi. Eve watched while Peabody set the food on her desk, tidily organizing debris to make room. What are you angling for, Peabody? Angling? Just making sure you don't forget to eat. You're always forgetting to eat, which is why you're skinny as a snake. Which looks great on you. Peabody's gaze darted up and away while she added a napkin and fork. Then her breath huffed out as Eve continued to give her the fisheye. Okay. Maybe I was hoping if we're not on the tail of some hot lead or whatever, you'd find it in your big, generous heart. Cut the crap. I want to leave early, take an hour's personal time. McNabb and I have a date. You and McNabb live together. Well, you see, that's kind of the point. Peabody dragged the visitor's chair over, picked up her wrap, and chowed down. We realized we didn't want the cohab thing to take the romance out of things, the spark, so we instituted date night. Tonight's the first, so I really want to get home in time to buff myself up, special, Kick him in the balls special. If you want to kick him in the balls, I often want to myself. You should stay at home. Dallas! Yeah. Take the hour. Buff and polish and kick him in the balls. Thanks. We're going to this club and not one of those bumpin' F joints, Peabody said. But where you go to actually listen to the music and dance with each other and stuff. I really want to look extreme, so need the hour. Fine, you'll be making it up tomorrow. You need to report to Nadine's studio at Channel 75 at 1700. What for? Peabody asked with a mouthful of veggie hairs. She'll interview you on the Andrews case, so make sure you're... What? On air? Me? You'll be representing the department and this division, so don't screw it up. But people watch now. Practically everybody. I can't screw it up. Exactly. It was small, it was mean, but Eve couldn't deny Peabody's reaction made the pretend turkey almost tasty. Nadine has respect for cops and the process, but she's still a reporter. She's sneaky, don't forget that. You'll give the facts I clear you to give, and the feel you own take. But when she presses you, and she will, on investigating details, you block. Standard. I'm not at liberty. Faintly green now, Peabody pressed a hand to her belly. I think I'm going to be sick. You boot on my desk, I'll throw your gagging body out my window. You don't have to worry about going on screen. Can't you do it? You used to do it. No, I can't do it, and you need to get used to it. I don't know what to wear. Oh, sweet suffering Christ, Peabody says. Window, Peabody head first. You couldn't fit me through that stupid window. Let's find out. Okay. Now my head's all screwed up. Unscrew it. We got a few matters just a smidge more important than your date and on-air debut. And they talk about the case. So then Eve, I am never gonna finish. Let's see. Eve gets home from work. Speaking of a ridiculously number of rooms, she thought after driving through the big iron gates and winding up the drive, nobody held a candle, whatever that meant, to Rourke. The house was a stunner, lord over sky and city, windows blazing hot, cold stars dripping overhead. A couple of years before, she never would have believed she could live in a place so spectacular, much less live there comfortably. But she did, and pulling up in front of the vast stone beauty, leaving her cops right out front, where Rourke's majordomo, Somerset, would sneer at it, rated as one of her favorite parts of the day, any day. She climbed out of the stuffy car, jogged through cold air and into the light and warmth drenching house. He was there, of course, lurking, the bony beanpole in the black suit who ran the house and kept her mildly irritated by a sand-covered people in a shoe. Lieutenant, you're late as usual. You're ugly as usual, but I've learned to make allowances. So then she gets home. Okay, that's the next scene. Okay. When she tells Rourke, are we supposed to date? Date what? Each other. He sent her a look that combined amusement, charm, and bafflement. She wondered how he managed it. As in, I take you out, there is some form of activity, then I drop you off at the door with a long, hopeful goodnight kiss. No, we never did that anyway. I knew I forgot something. Should I ask you out on a date, darling Eve? Look, I just wondered about it, that's all. Peabody started this whole thing about could she take an hour's personal to get polished up because she and McNabb had this date night deal going so they wouldn't lose the juice. That's very sweet. Are you wondering if we are low on juice? He took her hand, drew it to his lips. No, I just wondered if that's the sort of thing you're supposed to do when you're married a while and you spend a lot of evenings with work. We like work, don't we? And they get a little personal. Okay, let's go on now. Why did I want this? It's just a cute little thing. That he cooked the meal, so she's gonna do the dishes. It's hard to argue, especially since he'd come up with the pot pie idea. She caught the dishes, stacked them in the little washer in her office kitchen, then turned and found him studying her. What? Awfully domestic, isn't it? A moment, dish duty, coffee fetching, the two of us in the kitchen after a meal. Eve glanced down to where Galahad was sniffing his bowl, obviously hoping for seconds. That would be the three of us. Ah, yes, our little family. So I'm gonna skip that. Skip this. See now. So Eve and Peabody are talking, and she drapes a bag over the back of Eve's sleep chair. What's that? It's an outfit for tonight. In case I spill something on what I'm wearing, or in case what I'm wearing stupid. McNabb liked her, but he wears day glow half the time. Peabody pulled off her outerwear to reveal a ruby red suit with silver buttons running down the front. What do you think? Does it look right? Why are you asking me? I don't know. I really don't know. Nerves pumping, Peabody brushed at her hair. And I got stupid hair day going. They fixed that, right? They fixed that daughter thing? Nadine hired Trina to do hair and makeup, so you look all and every day seriously up. Eve shook her head. Gray pants, white shirt, navy jacket. What was the deal? If you finished our fashion consultation, could you spare a minute for the murder? And they talk more clothing. And then they talk about Charles, and we will get to Charles. Peabody watched as Eve scowled. Then Rourke lifted his brows with dreamy, steady eyes. Her lieutenant rolled hers, but stomped off to the kitchen. You guys don't even have to talk. Resting her chin on her fist, Peabody said, You just know. It does come in handy from time to time. How was your date night? It was really mag, mostly because we both agreed we like noisy, crowded clubs better than grown-up, sophisticated ones. But it was good to try something new. So anyways, let's get on. What did I want on this? Yeah, we'll skip that. No big deal. Skip that. So Eve and Peabody have just left interviewing somebody. And she says, sounds like the Vic took a hell of a turn after what, more than a dozen years of marriage? Happens, doesn't it? Divorce litters the land, so does adultery, and Elsie's do good business for a reason. All true. Marriage is mostly a sucker bet. Spoken by the woman with a dream husband. You just said dream husband might take a turn down the road and decide he wants to do threesomes. Me, pick me, Peabody says. Yeah, I'm dying to get you between the sheets, Peabody. Keeps me up at night. The point is, you've got a dozen years in, and one night the guy comes home and says, Look, honey, I picked up this ball gag and other stuff, and we won't go there right now. Then Eve spends the evening with Mavis, and she's all gooey with the kids, and she's talking to Mavis about the same conversation she just had with Peabody. So we'll skip over that. Feeney is sick. His wife's got him in bed, and he's begging Eve to give him something urgent that he needs to take care of, to give him a reason to possibly get out of bed or maybe even work from bed just to get the wife off of his case. Then Eve is informing Whitney that Peabody will be handling the interview. Regarding the media, Chief Tibble, Detective Peabody will be appearing on Now this evening. I can't speak for Nadine first, but I do have knowledge she knew the victim and liked him, respected him. Why Peabody, Whitney, and not you? Because, Commander, she needs a shove into the deep end of the pool, and Nadine is very fond of Peabody. That doesn't mean she won't push or dig, but she won't eat her alive. And in my opinion, sir, Detective Peabody can and will handle herself. If she F's up, Lieutenant, you'll be the one dealing with my wife. So noted. Actually, it might be helpful for me to speak with her if you don't object. So, we got a situation here. And we're gonna go through it. It's gonna take a minute or two. We will do this as best we can. Lady! Yo, lady! It took her a minute, but she made the voice, the small package it came from. Coffee black skin, vivid green eyes, a curly high top of hair. The boy hauled the same battered suitcase approximately the size of Staten Island he hauled in December when he'd been hustling the fake cashmere scarves inside it near the splattered body of a jumper on Broadway. Didn't I tell you before I'm not a lady? You're a cop. I tracked you down. I've been waiting here. And these other cops tried hassling me about why I wasn't in school and that shit. Why aren't you in school and that shit? 'Cause I got business. With you. I'm not buying anything. I got a tip. Yeah, I got one too. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Why not? You can't chew it. You just spit it out anyway. That wasn't stupid, Eve noted. Okay, what's your tip? I tell you, I'm pretty thirsty. He gave her the same grin he flashed the previous December. Do I look like a mark, Shorty? You look like a top bitch cop in New York City. That's the word on the street. Maybe she could spare a minute. The price of a Pepsi. That is the correct word. Give me the tip, and if I like it, I'll pop for a drink. I know where there's suspicious activity and suspicious characters. I'm gonna take you. Kid, you're hard-pressed to find anywhere in the city where there aren't suspicious activities and suspicious characters. You a cop or what? We established that. I've got cop work to do. Same guy, same place, same time, every day for 5 weeks. I've seen it. Maybe they've seen me too, but they don't mind me 'cause I be a kid. No, Eve thought, not stupid. Most people didn't see kids. What does this guy do at the same place, at the same time, every day for 5 weeks? He goes in with a big old shopping bag, heavy the way he carries it, and a couple of minutes later, bop, he comes out again, and he's got a different bag. It ain't heavy either. Where is this den inequity? The kid's brow. Ain't no den, it's a store. I'm gonna take you. It's a good tip. I ought to get an orange fizzy. You ought to get a kick in the butt. She pulled out her credits, passed them over, jerked a thumb at vending. While he plugged in the credits, she considered. The kid was sharp and had probably just seen what he said, meaning the store was a front or a beard for passing off wallets, bags, and whatever else the street thief could lift from tourists and New Yorkers foolish enough to get their pockets picked. You gotta get so you can go catch them. Give me the location, I'll send cops over. No. He wants Eve to go. So they go. And she tells Peabody she's leaving. And Peabody, I have to make a run, semi-personal, then I'm going to work at home. But I have to leave for 75 in like any minute. Do that. Copy any data, shoot it to my home office. But you're not going with me? Peabody, pull yourself together. You've done on air before. Not like this, Dallas. You gotta go with me. I can't go there by myself. Jesus, how can people be worth all this? Take McNabb. Tell his DS I cleared it, and don't F up. You're supposed to say break a leg. F it up and I'll break your legs. So her and the kid head off, and you got a name? You got one? Lieutenant Dallas. What kind of name is Lieutenant? It's rank. It's my rank. I don't got no rank. Got no rhyme. Name, kid, or the adventure stops here. Tico. Okay, Tico, where are we going? Maybe we cruise over around Times Square. What's in the case? I got me the cashmere scarves and matching caps. How come you don't wear no cap? Heat falls out the top of your head. You don't wear a cap. How come you're not wearing one? Sold it. I'm a selling fool. As a selling fool, Tico, why did you haul yourself in that case all the way down to Grand Central to tell me about the drop? I didn't drop nothing. About the suspicious activities. I don't like suspicious activities around my yard. I got business. Somebody steals wallet and shit, then people don't have the money to buy my scarves and caps, and pretty soon in good weather my 100% silk scarves and ties. Okay, why not tell one of the uniforms on the beat? Why do that when I got a line on the top, bitch? Tough to argue with his logic, Eve said. You got digs, Tico? I got digs, don't you worry. Maybe you turn on 44th and dump the ride there. Anybody knows anything sees this crap ride makes it for a cops. Once again, Tico nailed it. And he sets up a little shop. He pretends to keep watching. And she nabs the guys. She goes, visits his grandmother. Checks her out. She's doing a really good job. She explains the whole situation to Eve. We love Tico. One day, maybe Rourke will help him set up a business, or maybe he'll be so successful he'll set up his own business. So then we get home, and the foyer's emptying, and she's trying to figure out why it's emptying. As I assume you might have some interest in your partner, you should be aware that Detective Peabody's appearance on Now begins in approximately 4 minutes. Eve's runs up the stairs, turns on the TV. She'd barely begun when Now's theme music boosted on. With half an ear, she listened to Nadine's intro, spared a glance at the screen, where the reporter's cat eyes stared soberly back at her. Polished and powerful was the image. And she introduced Peabody as the dedicated, decorated officer and cited some of the media-worthy cases she'd helped close. When the camera panned over to her partner, Peabody pursed her lips. Trina hadn't gone freaky on her hair and face, Eve noted. She looked young, but not soft, and that was good. Don't screw up, Eve murmured, and she watches the interview. Alright, let's get going. And Rourke comes home and says, did you catch Peabody's interview? Yeah, did you? I wouldn't have missed it. I thought she was brilliant. She didn't screw up, Eve says. Let's keep going here. We still got a couple of longer chapters to get to. Let's see. I just can't help it. I enjoy the heck out of these books. I really do. Peabody comes in. I've got crawlers, and you got through the bell pen alive. I brought 2 boxes, tossed one at the riding horde as I came through. That's not stupid. I would have come back before, but you were with Baxter and Trueheart. I was collecting my kudos. I thought they were crawlers. I'm celebrating with Patriots because I looked really good last night. I know how the camera's supposed to add pounds, but I didn't look tubbo. I think it was the jacket. It's slimming. And the way the buttons run and all. They tricked the eye. And I was sitting on my ass, so that wasn't a problem. I was so nervous, completely freaked. Trina was great, sort of talking me down. Says you're due for a treatment, by the way. She's due for an ass kicking. McNabb was Mag. Seriously, Mag. But you have all those people on the cameras. If you think about any other people sitting at home watching, you'll throw up. Nadine was the alt. She eased me to it, but she didn't baby me, so I didn't come off like a moron. And then she asked Eve if she watched, and Eve said she was busy. Aw, you mean you didn't? Eve let it sit for another 5 seconds, but she couldn't be that mean. And there were crawlers. Jesus, Peabody, you're easy. Of course I watched. I had to know if you screwed up, and I needed to kick your ass. You didn't screw up. You gotta love it. Alright. Now we're gonna see if we can cut this a little on the short side. I'm so tempted to just read the entire. Oh no, this is not that yet. Um. Oh, Eve. It's just too much. Um. So Eve is waiting for Rourke outside, and she spots the guy. Um. Well, hey, two things. While she waited, a couple of women already loaded with packed mules with shopping bags stopped by the display window beside her and cooed. Eve thought with the same over-the-top, slightly lame-brained adoration as Mavis cooing over Bella. Those shoes! They're absolutely mag! And if you ever get the chance to do Mary Janice Davison's Betsy, do like the one, even I think it's like the first book or even the second book. Just do the audiobook, and it's worth it to hear the narrator do the shoes and the Louboutins. It's just your eyes will get stuck in the back of your head from rolling. So the women are going over the shoes. She glanced away in time to spot some guy in a green army coat come flying across the street, dodging vehicles, clambering over others with a wild, happy grin plastered on his face. Happy, she assumed, because the beat cops in pursuit huffed half a block back, losing ground. People scattered as people tended to do. Eve continued to lean back against the building, but she rolled her eyes and back as she gauged the timing. Green coat bugled a hooting of call of triumph when his combat boots smacked the pavement. At a flicking a glance and his middle finger behind him kicked in for the dash down 54th. Eve simply shot out her foot. He flew, the green coat rising like wings, and landed with what had to be a skin-scraping slide over the sidewalk. Nice takeoff, bad landing, she said. She pulled out her badge as much for the rubbernecking people as for the guy underfoot. Shit, I had it cooked and in the pan. Yeah, well, now it's burnt and so are you. What the hell you doing standing around the damn corner? Just waiting for my ride. She saw her cruise up, the mile-long black limo that actually made her stomach hurt with embarrassment. When Rourke lowered the window, cocked his head, grinned, all she could do was scowl. The cops huffed and puffed their way up to her. We appreciate the assistance, ma'am. If you just... Lieutenant, here's my badge. It's in your face. Lieutenant, sir, we were in pursuit this individual as... This individual major pursuit looked like a couple of old ladies hobbling back to their rocking chairs. Shut up, you're winded sweating, and this guy was as fresh as a daisy with his face met the sidewalk. This embarrasses me. Now, if you got your breath back, wrap him up. Yes, sir, for the report, Lieutenant, the individual, I don't care, he's all yours. Lay off the crawlers, and she gets in the limo. And she talks to Rock a few minutes, and then she brings up the crawlers, and he actually makes his driver stop to get her crawlers. But anyways, then, let's see, what is this about? Where did I... they talk about Rock's childhood, just a few little things, and about Somerset. It's good. Then Chico's grandmother comes to see Eve, and she thanks. There was $1,000 reward for what Chico did, so his grandmother, she's gonna put it for his college. Then, I really would love to read this entire chapter to you. We'll just read pieces of it. Nervous, distracted, Charles paused outside the brownstone in the West Village and checked the display on a signaling link. It's Dallas, he told Louise. Worried, uncertain, she watched him frown at the display. Aren't you going to answer? No, I'll get back to her. It could be about the case, Charles. If there's something about it you haven't told her, something you're holding back because of loyalty or discretion. There isn't. Let's go in. Actually, Charles, I'm not really in the mood to socialize, especially with new people. I think you and I need to talk. And she doesn't understand. She has been seeing him do stuff, and she'd been reading the signals wrong. Charles was trying to surprise her, and she thought he was preparing to dump her. And it was just, so he's showing her this house, and he tells her he bought the house 2 weeks ago. Well, congratulations. I didn't realize you were even thinking of relocating, much less buying a house. No wonder you've been so distracted lately. Show me the rest. The floors, Charlie, they're gorgeous. Are they all the way through? And the space? No, just surprised. It's a big step, enormous. I've taken a couple more. I didn't tell you. No, you didn't tell me. You haven't told me much of anything for the past week, so let me be a grown-up. I'll be civilized. Let me try. Is there a dining room? I bet there's a wonderful dining room. I've retired. What? I turned in my license the end of last week. Last week? I don't understand. You don't understand. You turned in the license, bought a house. What is this, Charles? I needed to have everything in place before I told you. I applied for it and was granted a license in psychology, specializing in sex therapy. Dr. Mira helped me. You spoke with Mira, but not me. And they go through this whole thing. And she thinks he's going to break up with her. And she's like, all right, well, let me be the woman about it. You're starting a whole new life and you're not going to have me in it. And, where is it now? This is ridiculous. I've never had a problem with your work. It's your work, and it was your work when I met you, when I fell in love with you. Exactly. It never bothered you. Never made a difference in how you felt about me. But it began to bother me. It began to bother me when I just couldn't give my clients my best because, Louise, I didn't want to be with anyone but you. I didn't want to touch anyone but you. I needed for myself, I needed to lay the foundation for the new, to believe I could do this and offer this to you. Offer? This house? It's closer to your clinic than either of your apartments. It's nice neighborhood. It's a home, Louise. Not a place to sleep or hang. It's a place to live together, to build something together. I need a second. You did all this for me? For us. If you don't like the house, we'll find another. Mira said it would probably be better to wait on the house to consult you, but I didn't. I thought you were tired of me, Charles. I thought you didn't love me anymore. I didn't want to know how to tell me. You've been breaking my heart for weeks, Charles. And then he says, he was for two people, adults and stuff like that. They were going about it completely wrong. He says, no, I don't want to cohab. I want you to marry me. And then they go and tell even Rourke about it. And they're going to have the wedding at the place. And they're going to have it at Even Rourke's house. Hey, AKA Why Promises and Death. It's a 3-book. It's like a 3-book arch with their relationship. And Promises and Death is the conclusion of the relationship arch. And then she turns to Rourke after Charles and Louise leave, and she goes, one question. Does having a wedding here mean I have to do stuff? Stuff as in? Screw around with caterers and florists and decorators. I believe Louise will want full control there. Thank God. Of course, as matron of honor, you'll have certain duties. What duties? You stand there in fancy dress, probably holding a bunch of flowers. You keep thinking that, darling, for as long as it comforts you. It's like Mavis having a baby, isn't it? I have to do all this stuff because they're doing all this stuff, which is completely what you think about their stuff. But it gets to be my stuff because somehow or other they got to be my stuff. The fact that I followed that clearly from point to point proves you're my stuff. I love it. And there's one or two little things that she does as matron of honor, but other than that, it's not anything. So let's just finish up here. What did I want this? She's talking with the illegal guy. Yeah, she's talking with a guy. Alright, now I'm gonna spoil the book, seriously. Absolutely 100% spoil the whole theme of the book. Because I made it in the beginning and I talked about it. Wait a second. when I was doing this other video, when I was thinking of this, I was thinking of my if then. Murder on the Christmas Express. Night train to murder. This train. The body on the train. Everyone on this train is a suspect. Don't forget Murder on the Orient Express. And Strangers on a Train. There's a book and a movie by Alfred Hitchcock. And we are going to end. I'm going to spoil it. Strangers on a Train, Rourke says. Huh? Her head swiveled back toward him. What train? Nobody was on a train. I haven't run that vid for you, have I? Coolly, he continued to study the screen, continued to read data. It's a good one. Mid-20th century Hitchcock film. You've enjoyed Hitchcock. Yeah, so, briefly, two men and strangers meet on a train, and the conversation turns to how each wishes to be rid of a certain individual in his life, and how it could be done without the police suspecting them if each did in the others. Very clever, as there's no real connection between the two men. It's a book first, come to think of it. Strangers. In this case, the one who wanted his wife done didn't take the other, an unstable sort, who wanted his father done. But seriously, the wife was dispatched, and the unstable sort pressured the sudden widower to complete the bargain. It's a twisting complex. You'll have to watch it. Strangers in Death. And then there's another interaction with the gang. The next morning, she calls everybody up and says, meeting my house, I don't know, 8 a.m. I forget whatever time she said. And she tells every single person to peruse Strangers on a Train. And then she says, Baxter walks in, they've got food. Woohoo! Breakfast, Peabody all but skipped into the room just ahead of McNabb. I told you not to feed the puppies, Eve scolded. But they're so cute, Rourke said. Sorry, am I late? Chewhart hurried in. I missed the wow. His young hero face went bright as a birthday candle at the sight of the buffet. Grab some pig, kid, Baxter told them. Team feed. Hey, Feeney, Dr. Mira. Good morning. Isn't that lovely? She smiled and beamed at Rourke, and so considerate. Don't eat all the damn bacon, McNabb. Feeney muscled in him beside to claim. There's ham, too. When you all finish stuffing food in your faces, maybe you could listen up. I got no problem listening while I'm stuffing. You? Well, damn it. Everybody just fill it up and sit down with somewhere. This is a goddamn official briefing, not an all-you-can-eat. Here you are, then. Rourke handed her a plate of bacon and eggs. You won't be so coarse if you have a bit of breakfast. This is your fault. It is, isn't it? Go on, then shovel in. Strangers on a Train. Strangers in Death. I love this book. I love it. And please come with me next week for Salvation in Death. Secret Identity. And how the cake solves the mystery. The cake. We'll tune in next week. Hey, don't forget unboxing tomorrow. And if you haven't watched yesterday's If Then, go watch the If Then and Star Trek Voyager recaps and Star Trek Next Generation recaps and my daily book reviews and Flashback Monday. I could use some suggestions on Flashback Monday page. Watch a video, just get all the details from that. And Unboxing Sunday and my daily book reviews. Have a good one. I love it. Strangers on a Train.